My friend Takeshi works the night shift at a convenience store in Shibuya, and he swears this story is true. Every night around 2 a.m., he'd take his dinner break and walk to the coin laundry next door. The place was always empty except for her, an elderly woman in a faded floral dress, always at the same washing machine, always folding the same white clothes. She never looked up when he entered, never acknowledged his presence, just folded and folded and folded. Takeshi thought nothing of it at first. Night people keep to themselves in Tokyo. But after 2 weeks, he realized something strange. She was wearing the exact same dress every single night, and the pile of clothes never got smaller. One night, curiosity got the better of him. He approached her table, and his blood turned to ice. She was folding the same white funeral kimono over and over again. The fabric was bone dry, but her hands were soaking wet. Water dripped steadily from her fingertips, forming a dark puddle beneath the table. "Excuse me," Takeshi whispered, his voice barely audible. She stopped folding. Slowly, so slowly, she turned her head toward him. Her face was waterlogged and bloated, in the color of old paper. But her eyes were completely black. "I'm waiting for them to dry," she said, her voice like water down a drain. Takeshi ran, never looking back. The next morning, he asked the coin laundry owner about the woman. The owner went pale and locked the door behind them. 3 years ago, the owner whispered, a woman drowned in the apartment upstairs. She was doing laundry when the pipes burst, flooded the whole building. They found her 3 days later, still clutching her funeral kimono. The owner pointed to machine number 7, the one she always used. "It's been broken for 3 years, but it still runs every night. And if you listen closely, you can hear it filling with water. Water that never drains." This happened to my cousin Yuki when she was studying at Waseda University. Her tiny apartment had no washing machine, so she relied on the 24-hour coin laundry down the street. She always went late, around 11 p.m. when most people were asleep. The fluorescent lights flickered constantly, casting strange shadows on the white tile wall. One November night, she noticed something odd. Machine number 13 was running, no one else was there. The display showed 45 minutes remaining on a normal wash cycle. Yuki shrugged it off. Students forget things all the time. She loaded her clothes into machine number 5 and settled in to wait. But as she sat there, she realized something was wrong. Machine 13's timer wasn't counting down. 45 minutes, still 45 minutes, always 45 minutes. The drum spun endlessly, water sloshing back and forth in a hypnotic rhythm. Curious, Yuki approached the machine and peered through the glass door. Inside was a single white dress, spinning round and round, but the fabric looked old and yellowed with age, and there was something dark staining the collar, something that looked like. The lights went out. In the darkness, she could still hear machine 13 running, the wet, sloshing sound growing louder. Yuki fumbled for her phone's flashlight, and when the light came on, there was a woman standing next to machine 13. She wore a white dress identical to the one in the machine, but this one was soaking wet. Water pooled at her bare feet, spreading across the white tile. The woman's long black hair hung over her face, dripping, dripping. "It won't come clean," the woman whispered, her voice echoing in the empty room. "I've been washing it for so long, but the blood won't come out." Yuki ran, leaving her clothes behind. The next morning, the coin laundry owner found her clothes still in machine 5, but they were soaking wet, and machine 13 had been unplugged for maintenance for over a year. But every night at 11 p.m., students report seeing it run. Always the same sight, always the same white dress, always 45 minutes remaining. Hiroshi was a salaryman who worked ridiculous hours, often not getting home until well past midnight. The only time he could do laundry was in the early morning hours, around 3 or 4 a.m. There was a small coin laundry near his apartment in Akebukuro, open 24 hours with decent machines. He'd become a regular. The vending machine owner even recognized him. One foggy March morning, Hiroshi arrived to find someone had beaten him. A woman in her 30s, neatly dressed in a dark suit, was folding clothes at the center table. She worked with mechanical precision, each fold perfectly aligned. Her movements were so rhythmic, so hypnotic, that Hiroshi found himself watching her work. She had an enormous pile of laundry, more than seemed possible for one person. Business shirts, children's clothes, work uniforms, all perfectly clean and pressed. Working late? Hiroshi asked, trying to make small talk. The woman looked up and smiled with perfect politeness. Always, she replied. Someone has to take care of the family. Her voice was pleasant, but there was something hollow about it. Hiroshi loaded his clothes and sat down to wait, occasionally glancing at the industrious woman. She never stopped folding, never took a break, never even blinked. When his cycle finished, Hiroshi moved his clothes to a dryer and noticed something strange. The woman's pile of laundry hadn't gotten any smaller. If anything, it seemed to have grown, and the clothes she'd already folded, they were gone. "Excuse me," Hiroshi said. "Where do you put the folded clothes?" The woman smiled again, that same hollow smile. "I take them home to my family," she said, continuing to fold. "They're waiting for me. They've been waiting for so long." Something in her tone made Hiroshi's skin crawl, but he couldn't look away. As he watched, he realized the clothes were wrong. They were decades out of style, faded and worn. Some even had holes in them, and they smelled like earth, like something that had been buried for a long time. When his dryer finished, Hiroshi quickly grabbed his clothes, eager to leave. As he reached the door, the woman called out, "Thank you for the company. I don't get many visitors, not since the accident." Hiroshi turned back, but the coin laundry was empty. No woman, no clothes, no evidence anyone had been there at all. Just a faint smell of earth and the sound of folding clothes that wasn't there. He never went back to that coin laundry, but sometimes on foggy nights, he swears he can still hear her folding clothes for a family that will never come home. Tomoko was a college student living paycheck to paycheck. Every coin mattered. She developed a routine of saving her laundry for late Sunday night, when the coin laundry was cheapest and empty. The place was old but clean, with a change machine that always seemed to work perfectly. One February night, Tomoko arrived with exactly 800 yen, just enough for one wash and dry cycle. But when she fed her 1,000 yen note into the change machine, something strange happened. Instead of giving her 800 yen in coin, it gave her 1,000 yen. She counted twice, definitely 1,000 yen in coin. Confused but grateful, Tomoko used what she needed and pocketed the rest. The next week, curiosity got the better of her. She tried the machine again. Same result, 1,000 yen in, 1,000 yen out, plus her original bill returned. It was like free money, and as a struggling student, Tomoko couldn't resist. Soon she was visiting twice a week, then every other day, then daily. The machine never failed to give her more than she put in, sometimes double, sometimes triple. But Tomoko began to notice changes. The coins felt cold, unnaturally cold, even in her warm pocket, and they smelled strange, metallic and bitter, like old blood. One night in March, she arrived to find a maintenance worker servicing the change machine. "Excuse me," Tomoko asked, "is there a problem with the machine?" The worker looked up, his face pale and troubled. "You could say that," he replied. "This machine has been broken for 6 months." "Broken?" Tomoko's heart sank. "But it's been working perfectly for me." The worker shook his head. "Lady, this machine hasn't dispensed a single coin since last September. There's no money inside. Never has been. And the mechanism is completely seized." Tomoko's blood turned to ice. Then where did the coins come from? The worker opened the machine's front panel, and they both gasped. Inside, where the coin reservoir should be, was a single photograph. It showed a young man, maybe 25, with dark circles under his eyes and a desperate expression. "That's Kenji Nakamura," the worker whispered. "He used to come here every night. Gambling debt, Yakuza were after him. He was desperate for money. One night, he tried to break into this machine, electrocuted himself on the wiring." Tomoko felt sick. 6 months, the worker said, closing the panel. That night, Tomoko went home and counted all the coins she'd collected, over 50,000 yen. As she touched each coin, they felt even colder, and she could swear she heard whispers. Desperate voices, begging, pleading, asking for just a little more money. She tried to spend the coins, but every shop owner refused them. "These coins," they'd say, backing away. "Where did you get them?" The coins are still in her apartment, in a box under her bed. Every night she hears them shifting, clinking together, whispering. And sometimes, just sometimes, she hears Kenji's voice among them, Just a little more, and I can finally rest. This story comes from my uncle, who worked security at a shopping complex in Osaka. His route included checking the 24-hour coin laundry, a sterile, fluorescent-lit place that never felt quite right at night. Most nights, it was empty, just the hum of vending machines and the occasional customer doing late-night laundry. But every Tuesday night, without fail, there was always one customer, an older salary man in a rumpled suit, sitting in the plastic chair by the window. He never had any laundry with him, never used any of the machine, just sat and stared out at the empty parking lot. My uncle found it odd, but Tokyo is full of odd people doing odd things. This went on for months. Every Tuesday, same man, same chair, same vacant stare. Then one Tuesday in December, the man spoke. "Excuse me," he said as my uncle passed by. "What day is it?" "Tuesday," my uncle replied, checking his watch. 2:47 a.m. The man's face went white. "Tuesday already?" He stood up suddenly, knocking over his chair. "I'm late. I'm so late, she'll be worried." The man rushed toward the door, but stopped just before the exit. "I was supposed to pick up the dry cleaning," he mumbled. "Tuesday is dry cleaning day." "Sir," my uncle called out, "this is a coin laundry, no dry cleaning here." The man turned around, and my uncle saw his face clearly for the first time. His eyes were completely unfocused, like he was looking through my uncle, through the wall, through time itself. "She's waiting for me," the man said. "Every Tuesday she waits for her dress, the blue one with the white flowers, for our anniversary dinner." My uncle felt a chill run down his spine. "Or maybe you should go home." "Home?" The man laughed, a hollow, broken sound. "I can't go home, not without the dress. She'll be so disappointed." The man sat back down in the same chair and resumed staring out the window. My uncle tried to approach, but when he looked at the chair, it was empty. The next morning, my uncle asked the day shift guard about the Tuesday night customer. "Oh, him," the guard said. "Terrible story. Sato-san worked at the office building next door, married 30 years. Every Tuesday he'd pick up his wife's dress from the dry clean. They had a standing anniversary dinner date. One Tuesday he worked late, forgot about the dress, forgot about dinner. His wife waited at the restaurant for hours, then took the train home alone. The train derailed that night. It was one of 17 people killed. Sato-san blamed himself, said if he'd remembered the dress, he would have waited at home. He started coming here every Tuesday, sitting in that chair, waiting. Waiting for what? My uncle asked. For Tuesday to end, I think. He can finally go pick up that dress. The guard paused, then added quietly, "Sato-san died 3 years ago, heart attack at his desk on a Tuesday. My uncle still works that route, but he doesn't check the coin laundry on Tuesday nights anymore. Some nights he can see through the window, figure sitting in that chair, still waiting, still hoping for a Tuesday that will never end."